Today I wanted to spotlight the Begali 05. This is the Icom 705 mount, as well as the really small, built for portable operations and this specific application, this Begali CW key. So like I said, this comes as an attachment to the 705. This is all Begali stuff. You can see that the CW key gets to be mounted either on the right side of this mount or the left side of this mount, and there are little indentations. It's almost kind of like a what do you call it, one of those lock nuts that you can find, but it's integrated into the aluminum. But this thing attaches to the bottom of the 705, and I guess if I were to be critical about anything on this is if you are out in the field and you have everything broken down and you're setting up, you cannot put this thing on without a screwdriver. I mean, it's really difficult to get in there to get this mounted onto the 705. But once you do, it's pretty solid, it's pretty perfect, and it's mated perfectly. We've got the made in Italy here. And there is a rubber gasket all the way around that protrudes ever so slightly so that it creates a little bit of grip when this is on the table. The other thing is once you have your screwdriver out and you mount this to the bottom, you might as well use a screwdriver to put this into, because as much as I tighten the thumb screw on this, it can never be tight enough to put this into place. So that's another thing you'll need, is the screwdriver to mount this. There aren't really a ton of adjustments on here. Probably one of the important parts is how far in and out the magnet goes. So but yeah, once it comes, everything is pretty much set up perfectly. And right now I am portable W6 in California, Los Angeles area, and wanted to show this to you. But it's a really nice key. It is, very much more robust than my other portable key. If you've noticed in my other videos, you know that I like to have pretty tight spacing, and there's no real great way to do that on a key like this. But this is like almost kind of bulletproof and perfect for, like maybe SOTA or something like that. Although some might argue that this is a little heavy, but this kind of is too with this whole apparatus. So, but again, this thing is, super high end. This is probably not the Ferrari of CW keys, but it is made by the Ferrari maker of CW keys, if you watched my other video on the Ferrari of CW keys. But this thing is very tight, very sensitive, and I don't know if I can turn the volume up here. It works really well, and it's very smooth. I think these are anodized aluminum or something like that, so I was kind of worried about these maybe breaking if I dropped something, but it seems like these are pretty stout and are really nice. But yeah, I've got this set up for 20 words a minute on my Icom 705. It works out pretty good. And even, if you want to go up to like 35 words a minute, it still works pretty awesome. Whoops. But yeah, it's great. I do have the power set to 0 watts, of course, so I wasn't really transmitting. Maybe a couple of milliwatts came out of there, but in my compromised position, I don't really think anybody heard that or anything. Oh, there's actually a station down here. So this, coupled with the 705, is really nice. This CW key is pretty expensive. It's very miniature, but it, as everything else in Begali's lineup, it is very solid and works perfectly. Let me turn that back down. I can't think of any other items that it's got the. Let's see if I can get that zoomed out there. It's got the ball bearings there and the pivot spot, and like I said, you might want a screwdriver to put this on here. You can mount it on the left or the right side, and this can rotate and pivot if you want it to. I like it kind of like in this position because it's kind of like a natural spot for me to do CW. So I kind of like it that way. And like I said, there's it does an awesome job. Little bit. I've got a lot of dust on this table here, so the grip is not being very grippy on this table. So I should probably put like some kind of a big mouse pad down or something like that, because as you probably have seen from my other videos, I'm pretty heavy-handed with the CW key, so this thing's going to be moving around pretty easily when I'm doing stuff. So I'm going to obviously mess up. See, it just kind of moved on me. See, I'm trying to like hold it with, maybe just hold it with my little pinky, just that cord so it doesn't move. Yeah, it still kind of wants to move though. So that's another thing that's a little concerning. Of course, I know some folks that do POTA as well as SOTA that they might really benefit from one of the knee straps. So this might not be the best, but for having fun and banging around portable operations, if you're at a park or something like that and you have the ability to just put down something so that this thing doesn't move, if you're heavy-handed like myself, this works out pretty good. So looks like what I need to do is get a mouse pad for this thing. Anyways, if you have any questions about this Begali key or the other Begali key or any of the other keys that I have, feel free to post, and I'll try to answer best I can. So have fun CWing.